Hi, my name is Nikki, and I'm poor. There is no better way to say it. My mom and I are poor as church mice, or maybe even worse. Let me explain. Growing up, I was familiar with just three faces at home: my mom, her sister, Auntie Carla, and Grandpa. Mom always took care of Grandpa, who was confined to a wheelchair, and Auntie Carla was a student. Just in case you're curious about my dad, I don't know who he is, and my mom doesn't either. We always kind of dance around the topic because it reminds her of how she thinks she threw her life away. But here is the little I know. On prom night, Mom went out with her friends and partied till they were drunk. Next thing, she woke up in the morning in a strange hotel room. But she didn't think much of it until 4 months later when she discovered she was pregnant. My mom had to forfeit her scholarship to have a baby. After she had me, she decided to start applying to college because Grandma offered to look after me. But unfortunately, Grandma passed away. So Mom had two people to look after: myself and Grandpa. As for Auntie Carla, Mom didn't let her stop going to school. She wanted one of them to get a degree. So she was willing to sacrifice herself for her sister to be happy. I guess it paid off because Auntie Carla graduated with a perfect GPA and got a great paying job at a huge accounting firm. She'd usually send us money every month, but when she met her husband, Dave, she stopped. Dave thinks I'm spending too much money on all of you. But she did not just stop sending money, she stopped speaking to us. Auntie Carla wouldn't even reply to the birthday messages we'd send her. And worst of all, she didn't come for Grandpa's burial. After Grandpa passed away, Mom was free to go about her life. She got her very first job only as a cleaner, but she was so proud of herself, and I was prouder. But life was still very tough. For example, the only time we bought food was when it was on clearance. I wore the same shoes throughout junior high. And on today's episode of Poverty 101, our electricity went off because Mom couldn't meet up with the payment. I left the house for a long week because I knew Mom was going to burst into tears, and I hated seeing her cry. Everything made me think of how Aunt Carla abandoned us, and a feeling of resentment started to grow. I decided to go to the supermarket, not because I had money to buy anything, I just didn't know where else to go. As I walked down the supermarket aisle, I heard a woman screaming over the phone. "Nobody owes you anything. If you want something, it's up to you to get it." As I lay on my bed that night, I couldn't help but think of the woman, and I came to one conclusion. There was no point hating Aunt Carla. My mom and I were solely responsible for getting ourselves out of our situation. I just needed to find a way. Eventually, Mom got a second cleaning job, but she mistakenly booked both jobs for the weekend. When she realized her mistake, it was too late to cancel. So I offered to go clean one house while she did the other. While I was cleaning the kitchen, I noticed a huge amount of cakes lying on the kitchen counter. I think the owner caught me staring because she suddenly said, "You can take them all. No one wants to buy them anyways." Well, I had a taste, and it was the most delicious cake I'd ever had. It would definitely be a shame to let them waste away. So I said, maybe the offer wasn't right. She still looked clueless, so I went on and on. You could offer a free sample, flash sale, or perhaps make a strong guarantee. At this point, she obviously thought I was crazy because she walked away without saying a word. I quickly finished cleaning and left her house, but I was so scared my mom would lose her job. I honestly believed I was trying to help because Mom would always say to me, "Nikki, you have the ability to sell 5 shirts of the same color to anyone." That's because I grew up reading Grandpa's sales books and I learned some skills from it. I didn't tell Mom about the incident at her client's house because I didn't want her to worry. But one evening, my mom came to my room to find me. "My client Rose wants me to clean her house 4 times a week because she has a lot of baking to do." Then Mom paused and looked at me proudly and said, "Rose asked me to give you $500 to thank you for the sales tip you gave her. It worked." I later learned she used the strong guarantee approach. While some people could easily take advantage of it, she also got some serious clients who booked her for wedding and birthday celebrations. I couldn't believe she decided to pay me. I'd never held that amount of money all at once in my life. It was at that moment that I realized I could get us out of poverty. I, Nikki James, will help businesses get more clients. The next day, I gave my mom $400 to buy some food and pay for electricity. Then I used the remaining money to get some cheap suits for a dramatic effect. Over 2 months, I spent my free time walking around in my suit and Grandpa's old briefcase, reaching out to local businesses offering my service. Some of them laughed in my face, while others gave me a flat no. Anytime I wanted to give up, I'd remember the woman's words in the supermarket. Finally, an old man gave me a chance to save his failing business. He kind of had no choice. I was his last hope and was grateful for the opportunity. In a few months, I was able to boost his sales by 65%. And of course, I was given another payment. As time went on, my portfolio expanded, and I began to work with multi-billion-dollar companies which paid bigger commissions. Our lives changed. I opened a cleaning business for my mom, and I surprised her with a new house on her birthday. It was the happiest moment of my life. My mom also found love, and he treats her like the diamond that she is, and I am so grateful for that. Sometimes, I still think of the lady in the supermarket. Her words helped change my life for the better.